Let me tell you a story about a man named Arthur. Now, Arthur wasn't a king or a knight. He was just a regular guy, a librarian surrounded by towering shelves of stories about heroes and adventures. But his own life, it felt like a book he hadn't even started writing. He had this dream, this quiet, persistent whisper in his heart. He wanted to be a painter. He'd buy canvases, expensive brushes, vibrant tubes of paint, and they'd just sit there gathering dust in the corner of his small apartment, like silent monuments to his own hesitation. Every day he'd tell himself, tomorrow I'll start. But tomorrow was always a day away. The fear was a lead blanket. What if he was terrible? What if he spent all that time and money just to create something ugly? The thought of his clumsy brushstrokes, of a muddy mess on a pristine white canvas, was paralyzing. He was a master of other people's stories, but a coward in his own. One rainy Tuesday, an elderly woman, Mrs. Gable, a library regular, came up to his desk. She noticed him staring out the window, lost in thought. "A penny for them, Arthur," she said with a gentle smile. He confessed his fear, his dream of painting, and his collection of unused supplies. He expected a "you can do it" or a simple platitude. But Mrs. Gable said something that hit him like a weapon. She leaned in and whispered, "Arthur, you're not afraid of being bad at it. You're afraid of being a beginner. We celebrate a baby's first wobbly steps. We don't criticize them for not running a marathon. Why are we so cruel to ourselves when we want to try something new?" She tapped a thick book on his counter. Every one of these great stories started with a single imperfect sentence. "Your masterpiece isn't supposed to be on the first canvas. The masterpiece is the courage to paint it anyway." That night, Arthur went home. He looked at the dusty canvas not as a judge, but as a playground. He didn't try to paint a sunset or a portrait. He just picked up a brush, dipped it in the brightest blue he could find, and made a single wobbly, imperfect line. And then another. He didn't create a masterpiece. It was a mess, a glorious, vibrant, beautiful mess. But as he looked at it, he wasn't filled with shame. He was filled with a feeling he hadn't felt in years: joy. He wasn't a librarian dreaming of being a painter anymore. He was a painter, he was a beginner, and it was the most liberating feeling in the world. So what are you a beginner at? Go make your beautiful mess. The masterpiece is in the starting.